Hi everyone, I am Parimala, pursuing MSc Microbiology from Central University of Tamil Nadu. Today I am going to explain the topic of aerobic and anaerobic treatment of wastewater. Aerobic and anaerobic treatments are two fundamental biological processes used in wastewater treatment to degrade or break down organic matter through microbial activity. Introduction. Water which is contaminated by or for human use and no longer suitable for its normal purpose is known as wastewater, and this wastewater is released from different areas. Wastewater is broadly classified into several categories based on its source, composition and treatment. They are domestic wastewater, industrial wastewater, municipal wastewater, stormwater, grey water and black water. Wastewater contain pollutants of organic matter like food scraps, human waste and other biodegradable materials, and pathogens like bacteria, etc. Nutrients like phosphorus, nitrogen, and suspended solids like sand, dust, and chemicals like detergent, fertilizers, pesticides. Biological wastewater treatment harnesses the action of bacteria and other microorganisms to clean water, and this treatment is used worldwide because of its effective and more economical than many other chemical and mechanical processes. Importance of this secondary or biological treatment of wastewater are: first one is public health protection. Proper treatment of wastewater removes or reduces the pathogen which cause diseases like cholera, typhoid, etc. These protects communities from waterborne illnesses. Next one is environmental protection. Wastewater contain substances like organic matter, nutrients, chemical toxins. When these substances discharged or released into rivers, lakes or oceans, creates environmental pollution and leads to the eutrophication where excess nutrients causes algal growth, by which oxygen level of the water decreases and kills the aquatic life. Next one is conservation of water resources. Wastewater treatment allows safe reuse of treated water for purposes like agriculture, irrigation, industrial processes, which helps in conserving freshwater resources, especially in water scarce regions. Next one is nutrient recovery. Treated wastewater can be a source of nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen, which can be recovered and reused as fertilizers and reduce the need of synthetic fertilizers, and promotes the sustainable agriculture practices. Next one is prevention of groundwater contamination. In areas which depends on groundwater for the drinking and agriculture purpose, untreated wastewater contaminates water supply and causes the problem to the people. Next one is enhancement of urban and industrial development. Well-managed wastewater systems are necessary for urban expansion and industrial growth. They ensure the water pollution from human activities is controlled and creates healthier living environments. Next one is climate change mitigation. Wastewater treatment contributes to mitigate climate change by reducing the amount of untreated wastewater released into the environment, and which produces harmful greenhouse gases like methane and nitrous, nitrous oxide, etc. Aerobic treatment. When microorganisms require oxygen to break down organic matter which is present in wastewater into carbon dioxide, water and biomass, this process is known as aerobic biological wastewater treatment. This process involves the mixing of wastewater with air or oxygen in treatment plant to encourage the growth of aerobic microorganisms. These microbes metabolize organic compounds and reduces the BOD and COD of the wastewater. The common aerobic treatment methods includes activated sludge system, trickling filters, rotating biological contactors. Aerobic wastewater treatment is applicable for domestic treatment, municipal and industrial waste treatments. activated sludge process. These methods include primary, secondary, tertiary treatment. Aerobic treatment comes under secondary treatment, which takes place in the aeration tank. This is the aeration tank where the microbial activity takes place. Primary clarifier wastewater is which is collected from the primary treatment is pumped into the aeration tank, which is a critical component of the activated sludge process method. Its primary function is to provide controlled environment for the growth and activity of the aerobic bacteria. These bacteria consume organic matter in the wastewater, breaking it down into simpler and less harmful compounds. The air is introduced into this aeration tank through the diffuser which is contained below the tank or other devices. This creates well oxygenated environment which promotes the growth of aerobic bacteria. These bacteria are naturally present in wastewater or can be added as seed sludge for the better activity of the microbes in the wastewater treatment. Bacteria consume organic matter in the wastewater, converting it into carbon dioxide, water, and new bacterial cells are formed. As the bacteria consume organic matter, they also multiply and form a thick sludge-like mass, which is known as activated sludge, which is uh, which is collected in which is collected in the secondary clarifier, and the remaining water is sent for the tertiary treatment or effluent treatment. The factors which affect this process involve the dissolved oxygen level, temperature, and pH. The dissolved oxygen level and temperature is maintained at higher level for the better activity of the microbes, and the pH is maintained at 6.5 to 7.5 for the optimal bacterial performances. The advantages of this method includes the efficient at removing BOD and COD of the water, and which is also useful for municipal and industrial wastewater uh, waste treatment. The disadvantages of this method includes the high energy consumption and produces the large amount of excess sludge in this process. Trickling filter method. In this method, these trickling filters are used, which are present in the aeration tank through which waste water is passes. As wastewater flows through this filter media, the microorganisms attack themselves to the surface of the media and form a biofilm. The microorganisms in the biofilm absorb oxygen from the air vents which are present to the aeration tank, through which oxygen is supplied into the tank. The microorganisms consumes nutrients and forms a sludge which is collected from these filters. The treated water is then discharged from this filter unit to the effluent tank for the effluent treatment. The advantages of this method includes low energy consumption, simple design, and less operative system. Less sludge is produced in this method. The disadvantages of this method includes the required large area for the installation or the setup of these tanks and the other parts of this method. Less efficient for high strength wastewater. Rotating biological contactors. These are the rotating biological contactors RBCs which are present in the aeration tank of this method. The front view of these RBCs are like disc shape with media support stands in between. 30 to 40% of this disc will submerged in the tank with wastewater. This is the side view where the discs are arranged in multiple setup in the aeration tank. As the surface of the RBCs is covered with a biofilm, which is a layer of microorganisms, as the RBC rotates with the help of the motor which is attached to this system, The wastewater is continuously exposed to this biological film. The microorganisms in the biofilm utilize oxygen from the tank to break down the organic matter in the wastewater. As the microorganism break down organic matter and these pollutants, which reduces the pollutant content in the tank. The advantages of these methods are required low energy and less space, simple operating system and method. The disadvantages of this method includes regular maintenance of this system to prevent the biofilm overgrowth and limited treatment capacity where the less amount of wastewater is treated at single treatment. Anaerobic treatment. This is another method of treating wastewater. An anaerobic treatment involves degradation of organic pollutants in the absence of oxygen. This process uses anaerobic microorganisms, anaerobes, to break down complex organic compounds into simpler substances like methane, carbon dioxide, and biomass. Process of treatment involves the wastewater after primary treatment is placed in closed containers where an anaerobic bacteria degrades organic matter through multiple stage process involving like hydrolysis, acetogenesis and methanogenesis. The methane produced from this treatment is used as renewable energy source. The common method of is anaerobic treatments are anaerobic digestion, upload anaerobic sludge blanket, expanded granular sludge bed. Anaerobic digestion. In this method, organic waste is placed in a sealed container called as anaerobic digester. These are the anaerobic digester where the biological treatment takes place. In this environment, bacteria and other microorganisms break down the organic matter in the absence of oxygen. As the organic matter is breakdown, the biogas mixture is produced. These biogas typically consist of methane and carbon dioxide along with some other gases. The biogas can be further processed through a compressor and used as an renewable energy source. Anaerobic digestion process also produces a liquid effluent known as a digester wastewater, which further processed for effluent treatment. These wastewater contain a nutrients and a small amount of organic matter that need to be treated before it is discharged into the water bodies through tertiary treatment. The advantages of this method are the renewable energy source production, like biogas is produced in this process, waste reduction, it reduces the volume of organic waste which is present in wastewater, and it reduces the organic waste from the landfill. Reduced greenhouse gas emission. This process can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions by capturing methane and potent greenhouse gas, preventing its release into the atmosphere. Odor issues, if not properly managed of this process, produces an unpleasant odor which is risk for the people. And capital cost, the investment of this anaerobic digestion facility can be high. Upload anaerobic sludge blanket UASB. In this method, UASB bioreactors are used for the biological treatment. The anaerobic treatment process in a UASB reactor primarily occurs within the sludge bed and sludge blanket. In this picture, we can see the sludge bed which is at bottom and the sludge blanket which is present above that. The sludge plate, this is a bottom layer of the reactor where the sludge granules are located. The granules contain a diverse community of anaerobic microorganisms capable of breaking down organic matter in the absence of oxygen. Sludge blanket, this layer of sludge particles that forms above the sludge bed, it provides a favorable environment for the anaerobic microorganism to thrive and carry out the digestion process. As the wastewater flows upwards through the reactor, it comes in contact with the sludge bed and the sludge blanket. The organic matter in the wastewater is then degraded by the anaerobic microorganism within these layers, producing the biogas as a byproduct. The advantages of this method is a highly efficient, low sludge production, energy recovery. The disadvantages are the sensitive to the shock loads and difficulty in startup. Expanded granular sludge bed EGSB. In this method, EGSB reactors are used. The anaerobic process primarily takes place within the expanded granular sludge bed reactor. This layer is composed of densely packed granular sludge, which is a biofilm containing a diverse community of microorganisms. These microorganisms are capable of breaking down organic matter in the absence of oxygen. As water flows upwards through this layer, the organic matter comes into contact with these microorganisms and utilize organic matter as a food source and produce biogas as a byproduct. The unique structure of these EGSP reactors are with expanding bed of granular sludge, providing an area of ideal environment for the anaerobic microorganism to thrive and carry out the digestion process efficiently. The advantages of this method is highly efficient, low sludge production and energy recovery. The disadvantages include sensitivity to shock loads and potential for clogging. Comparing aerobic and anaerobic treatment, the oxygen is required for aerobic treatment and no oxygen for anaerobic treatment. Aerobic bacteria involves in aerobic treatment. Anaerobic bacteria involves in anaerobic treatment. The byproducts of aerobic treatments are carbon dioxide and more sludge. The byproducts of anaerobic treatment are methane and less sludge. The energy use and sludge production is high in aerobic treatment than anaerobic treatment. The speed of treatment is fast in aerobic treatment than anaerobic treatment. Aerobic treatment is applicable for low strength wastewater like municipal wastewater. The anaerobic treatment is applicable for high strength wastewater like industrial wastewater. The cost is high in anaerobic treatment due to energy requirement for aeration. The cost is low in anaerobic treatment due to the recovery of energy as biogas. These are the references. Thank you, Kavya ma'am, and thank you, my dear friends.